Today is day 70 of 2026. So today I just finished my quantitative aptitude chapter, and I also finished the verbal ability section completely. And I started with the building a vocabulary section where basically we have to learn new words, because in verbal ability you also have to go through new words, and those words may be very unfamiliar, and sometimes you may assume that the word means a certain thing but it actually means something else. And this is really important because I noticed that even Deloitte had this in its um, assessment test, which I really couldn't clear at that time because the verbal ability section was kind of new to me. Like, it was the first time I answered an aptitude test, and the verbal ability section, it was quite hard also because I was unfamiliar with the process of answering those questions. I really hope that I improve on that section, like, with time. Yeah. The current thing, like, I'm tired of doing is applying for new trainee roles, new fresher roles, again and again, and like sometimes internship. Like, but right now, I think applying for an internship might not be the most beneficial thing. Uh, if it's unpaid, because it's really not the time for it. So my current focus has shifted from applying for non-paid internships to either paid internships or roles that are taking in freshers. But the issue is you are applying for many of them, maybe even tailoring the resumes for those particular roles, but not hearing from them is like kind of disappointing. Like, you keep checking your mails every single day just to like receive a mail, but you don't receive anything, and it's like very frustrating sometimes. Also, I realized that the competition is also a lot. Like, what is that factor that makes you stand out from the rest? Like, if you're applying for a particular role, like, why are you the best candidate? But there's so many factors to consider. Like, even there are top tier college students that are like given preference first, and they are also not getting placed completely. So belonging to a tier 3 college, then not having a NEC accreditation also is like a point that plays in selection of your your selection in one of the top tier companies or like a good MNC. But apart from that, if you like don't want like selection based on just your uh, college or something, I think you have to start somewhere. It might be a role that offers a less pay, but just to get the hang of it, like just to understand or get into the industry, you might have to sometimes like get into a role which pays quite less. So sometimes I am only stuck like whether I should go for a role that is like which gives enough knowledge but the pay is equally less at the start. Then there's a role that offers a good salary, but getting it is equally difficult. Or the role might be something that I'm not interested, or like it doesn't really have a long-term scope, because as the rise of AI and automation, those roles might really vanish. So that's also another factor. So there are so many factors to consider, like, before even taking up a role. Like, what are the industries that will stay even at the time of automations, like for the next 10 years, for the next 15 years, if you really want to grow yourself in the tech industry? What are the type of roles that you prefer doing in the long run? Like, everyone has their own preference of working, which that will help them flourish in the long run. Not everyone requires the same environment to grow. Some might prefer remote work, some may prefer in office work. So it depends person to person. So does that role basically offer that in the long run? So there are so many factors, like either you have to like compensate for something. You cannot get everything at the start, but with time, I think you can. But that is the major like struggle for I think most freshers, like either to choose between experience or learning, and to choose between starting at a higher package. With that, I end day 78 of 2026.